Hey guys, today we are making low-carb strawberry shortcake in an air fryer, all while having a whole lot of fun. Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. I am Cris from recipes@crock.com, and today for Foodie Friday we are going to be making air fryer strawberry shortcake. I'm going to show you the low-carb way, but also give you the tips of how to do it if you want to use a regular biscuit mix instead of the low-carb one to follow along at home. So what we are going to do is we need 2 cups of Carb Quick for those of you who are low-carbing it with me today. This is just the low-carb version of Bisquick, pretty much. You can get it on Amazon. You guys have seen us cook with it a lot before, so that's what we're using as our shortcake base today. So if you want to make this recipe with regular Bisquick and not do it low carb, then all I would suggest is you follow the drop biscuit recipe on the Bisquick box and maybe just add a little sweetener, a little sugar to it, to make it a little sweeter if you want, because that's kind of what we're doing here with a few adaptations. I have not made this exact shortcake recipe with regular Bisquick, so do that at your own risk. So what I have for us low carbers today is 2 cups of our Carb Quick, and to that I am adding 1/4 cup of cubed cold butter, and I'm going to just crumble this in to our Carb Quick and just run my fingers through the butter until I get it completely kind of integrated in. You don't have to do the butter step. I particularly like it. I think it produces a more flavorful shortcake, so that's why we always add the butter to ours. But the traditional Carb Quick biscuit on the side of the box does not have this butter step in it. So what I'm doing is, what we're going to do is probably speed this up until I get this all incorporated in there. Okay, so now that I've got that pretty much incorporated into my my Carb Quick, I am going to add just a pinch of salt to it. I like just a little bit of salt in there to kind of, I like it, particularly with the Carb Quick, the salt kind of adds a little something for me. And then I'm going to add 1/2 cup of powdered sugar substitute or confectioner sugar substitute. This is the Sucrin brand. I've also made this with the Swerve brand. I think you can get both on Amazon or other stores, online stores that have low carb sweeteners. I think I've even heard people be able to find Swerve in their grocery store before. So I'm just adding 1/2 cup of the powdered sugar substitute. I like the powdered version over the traditional granular sugar because I feel like it incorporates a little bit better into both the biscuits, and then we'll also be using some with our strawberries here in a minute. So I'm just incorporating this into my biscuit mixture before I add my water so that it sweetens that up. I'm just making kind of a traditional biscuit that I'm sweetening up to be a sweet little shortcake. Okay, so to this, I am going to add 2/3 cup water and mix this until a biscuit dough forms. Now, if you are in different humidity levels, you may need to add just a little bit more water to make a biscuit dough form, but the couple times I've tested this here, it has worked. 2/3 of a cup has worked just well. Can't talk today. Just as well for me as it does back home. So, yeah. So we've got a biscuit dough forming, and now for our air fryer step, what we're going to do is we want a single layer where air can get around our biscuits down in our air fryer. So depending on the size of your air fryer, you may have to do a couple batches. This will make 6 to 8 biscuits. Sweet biscuits, sweet shortcakes is what we're going to do. So you can just kind of eyeball it. You want them to be about the same size in the air fryer so you don't have some that are overcooked while some are undercooked at the end of cooking. So just form your biscuits up, spread them out. I'm going to try and do 6 biscuits. We'll see how good my biscuit dividing skills are. And if you have to steal from one to make it all work out evenly, I have to do that too. So there's no big deal in that. Or sometimes I even have to add a little bit. So I usually, in the Foodi, I just make 5 that go around and then I put 1 in the center, typically. And this center one is a little big, so I may take a little off of it, because the center one is the one that's going to struggle to get done the most. So I'm going to just take some of it and add to some of the others here. Okay. Now, there we go. We want plenty of room for the air to still circulate around so that our little shortcakes will get done. Okay? Alright. I'm going to wash my hands and then I'm going to put this on. We're going to cook it at 400 for 8 to 9 minutes until the biscuits are cooked through. We're going to also let it rest just for a minute or two, because sometimes it's almost done cooking and it will cook the rest of the way just with the heat off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this. I'm going to put it on the air crisp feature, bump it up to 400 degrees, and then we are going to cook ours. I'm going to put it on for 9 minutes. I'm probably going to check it at 8. But I'm going to put all this aside and show you how we're going to deal with, oh, no, I need this, how we're going to deal with our strawberries. So I have sliced up a pint of strawberries here. And what we're going to do is I just have them regularly sliced. Now, if I were at home, I'd probably take maybe 1/4 cup of this and run it through my blender just to kind of help get the juices going. Typically what you do when you slice this up for regular traditional strawberry shortcake is you would add sugar and smash some of the strawberries as you go, and their juices would start to form and help make that yummy, like, syrupy juice that is a part of strawberry shortcake. We're going to do the same thing. We had to help it just a little bit more with sugar substitutes than we would normally have to do it with traditional sugar, or at least that's what I found, and that's another reason why I like using the confectioner's sugar substitute instead of traditional sugar, is I find like it incorporates a whole lot better. So I'm going to start with 1/4 cup, and depending on how sweet your strawberries already are, 1/4 cup might be plenty. If they're not as sweet as what you would like them, you can go on and add up to another 1/4 cup, so a 1/2 cup total. I've got my Zing chopper, food chopper. You can do this with a fork. You can do this with a wooden spoon if you want to. But all I'm doing is I'm smashing. I wonder if I can get this guy to come over here so you can see. Maybe not. We'll see. My hands on. There we go. So all I'm doing is I am smashing my strawberries with this food smasher or food chopper so that I can get some of the juices to start coming out. And I just stir it and chop. And like I said, the sugar substitute doesn't make them weep as easily as regular sugar does, but it does happen. And the longer you wait and the more you work with it, it eventually comes right along, and it is a great substitute for you low carb folks. I've even served this to people who weren't low carb, and they've loved it. So it's just a yummy little dessert. A lot of times what I will do if I'm having people over that part of them are low carb folks and part of them aren't, is I will make 2 batches. I will make a batch of strawberry shortcake using traditional ingredients, and then I will make a batch of strawberry shortcake using the low carb ingredients, so my low carb guests can enjoy dessert right along with everyone else. Because if you're low carb, you know how rare that is. So that is one of the things that we really like to do, because we have some friends who are eat low carb like we do quite a bit too. So as you can see, it's really starting to incorporate in there. I'm just going to keep working with it, and I'll show you what it looks like when we get back, when our biscuits are done in 3, 2, 1. And we are back. I am going to check my biscuits. It's been 8 minutes. And as you can see, they've kind of cooked together. So that means that center is going to be a little bit harder to get done. So I'm going to let it finish cooking for the rest of that last minute. And here are my strawberries. You can see that they've produced a lot of juices. I went ahead and I added another 1/4 of a cup to them. So they've got plenty of juices to put over our biscuits. Okay, I'm going to let it cool down, because I'm going to let it set for just a few minutes to let that center set even further. Okay. So as you can see, they've risen up on the sides and they're nice and done. I am hoping, or I hope you can see. Yeah, you can see. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait just a minute or two to let them cool down just a little bit before I try to get one of those out of there. Actually, what I'm going to do is, because I think they cook together, I must have had just a little extra Carb Quick in there. So I don't want them to be doughy. So I'm going to put them on for like maybe 2 more minutes. Okay, I think it is finally ready. I must have had a little extra biscuit batter than what I did the last time I made them this way. This happens sometimes when I'm making biscuits from scratch, but as you can see now, it is baked up pretty much a lot better than it was. Ow, burnt myself. So that is a lot better than what it was. Let's set for just a minute so I don't burn myself. Try and get these guys out of here. Typically, if the biscuits aren't touching when the cooking is done, 8 minutes works just fine. I make our Cheddar Bay biscuits that way. But sometimes I get a little heavy-handed with the biscuit batter and it gets a little bit too much dough in there, and then they cook together. And Octavius is just crying down there. I don't know why. He got to go outside, so he's being a little noisy. I'm sorry. Now, it's just like anything else. Getting the first one out is always more difficult than getting the rest of them out. So I'm going to carefully try to pull this dude out. There we go. Okay. So we have our nice little biscuit. A lot of times I like to turn him upside down so that the juices can get in the more tender part of it, our sweet biscuit. And I'm just going to put some of these strawberries and juices over the top, and then I'm going to come see you guys. So I've got some sugar-free heavy whipped cream. You can make your own if you like to, but we're just going to put that on the top like that. Grab a fork and come see ya. There we go. low carb, sugar-free strawberry shortcake. So it's just nice and tender, flaky shortcake with the strawberries that have oozed down in there with the sugar-free not Cool Whip, whipped cream. We save these little biscuits, put them in baggies, put them in the pantry, and then you can have shortcakes later on. If you like, you could just pop the strawberries in the refrigerator. The longer they're refrigerated, the more juices they're going to create, and the juices are the best part, because I don't know if you can see where the juices have seeped down into the biscuit. Oh, that's my favorite part. Perfection. Absolutely love it. This is a great summertime dessert, but it's also a great anytime dessert. And I serve this for guests all the time. If you like this video, we'd love for you to give us a thumbs up. If you're not already a member of the Crock Posse, we'd love for you to become a member of our slow cooking, foodie loving, RV traveling family around here. Just click subscribe down below and you'll become a member of this family. If you would like notified every time we upload a video, click the ding-a-ling. That's the bell down below. And that will tell YouTube to notify you every time we upload a video. But whatever you do, we hope you laugh often, eat good food, and speak life. Bye, guys.
If you want to see the latest, click on the left right here. If you feel like subscribing, click on the right, my dear. And if you think we're funny enough to send us money, click the Patreon.